Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, we made it. I'm Jed Nico. This is Blacklist Society Live, Orlando's underground media. We're bringing to you new music, art, community, and all things psychedelic in Central Florida. This is a very special day for me, for anybody on the Blacklist team. This episode fucking 1, and I'm happy to bless it, to ordain it with none other than Lowgoes Tha God. What the fuck is up, God? Peace.
I appreciate you.
It's a very prolific hip-hop artist. I've known Lowgoes for over 10 years. I met you through, our link is Nabu Flynn. Shout out to the God, Nabu Flynn.
Nabu Flynn, yes sir.
Give us the origin story about Lowgoes Tha God. Where you from? Tell the people who don't know you, know your work, a little bit about yourself.
All right, so we're gonna start from the top.
Let's do it.
Born in the Bronx, man.
Hey, BX, stand the fuck up.
New York City.
Okay.
At a young age, family just started moving down one by one down to the south. Stopped at Virginia, did some time in Virginia. Make it sound like I did some time, but yeah, lived in Virginia for a little bit. Came down to Florida. Been down here for it's been a wrap, 15 years ever since like that. So
do you consider yourself a Floridian?
Absolutely. I feel like after you've been somewhere for so long, it's not even about where you're from no more. I mean, it's really where you at, where you enjoy the experience. Don't get me wrong, I'm still connected.
Yeah.
I got family up there. But K-Town, baby, Kissimmee, once I touch down, woo, I love it out here, man. It's like living on an island. And they got a little bit of, urban to it, so keep it nice and balanced. But I love it out here, bro. I've been down here for a minute, man. It's been 10 years, man.
It's been over 10 years. So let me just clear this up real quick. So me and Nabu Flynn, we went to high school with each other. Shout outs to Colonial High School. I graduated 07. So I met Nabu, it had to be 05 or 06. So if you think about that, that's 14, damn near 15 years in the making. Wow. And I seen you guys out here in the streets, running in the streets.
Yeah, man.
Cimarron is where I first met you. Shout outs to anybody from East Orlando.
You already know Curry Ford, Goldenrod,
Econ.
All the guys, the young guys. We was grasshoppers out here for real.
Absolutely.
Bro.
Where did you find music in that picture? I'm pretty sure music was always in your life, but when did that come into the picture as something that you wanted to take on as, I want to make income from this. I want to make a source of income for myself through the music industry. Because that happened fairly quick. I know I came out of the picture probably around 07, 08. I went off the map for a little bit. And then when I came back, probably 3 years later, you were in full-fledged spitting mode. You and Nabu were doing shows. You guys had songs on SoundCloud. So what happened from, moving down from the Bronx to Virginia, coming to Florida, and then finding music? How were you introduced to that?
Really is an outlet, to be honest. It all just starts as an outlet. You find yourself good at being able to do something, and you do it for one person, and hey, maybe you should show somebody this. You do it for 2 people, 3 people, it starts to catch. Well, really, the whole music thing really just started as me wanting to hear myself.
Okay.
Ride down the street, hear my own song, oh, that's a feeling that you can't describe to somebody. If you've never done that, created something, or, whether it's a movie, a show, or anything, just created something or art and just went back and reflected on it, is a different kind of feeling. So that feeling, I just wanted that over and over and over.
Absolutely. Now, would you say this was in high school when you were man, I want to get into this? What years, what stage in your life were you in that point?
Yeah, high school, man, or middle school, somewhere in between school. One of those, the
early years coming up.
Right around the early years, man. Just hearing music and being damn, you know what I mean? I could say some shit and just being inspired, Shout out to the God Nas, because if it wasn't for Nas, I wouldn't be writing anything.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't write a lick, because I wouldn't be inspired to write. I'd just be a listener like everybody else.
What's the most impactful Nas song to you? I mean, that's a loaded question.
Ooh.
We all know that. But for me, for one of mine Nas songs, it was either If I Rule the World with Lauryn Hill. I feel like that was something that opened me up to the possibilities.
Yes.
So that's something that hit home for me. What was that for you?
I want to say it's going to be it ain't hard to tell.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
From Illmatic.
Yeah, because when he says, I'm like life or death, I'm like ecstasy for ladies, I'm like breathing a sniper's breath.
Whew.
I'm like, wait, this is a whole different style of rap.
Right.
This isn't. This is like art.
It's something different.
This is art. This is not rap.
It
this
was
is
registered
like scripture.
different.
I was like, oh, so it unlocked me. Like, that's how I think. So one thing leads to another, you know what I mean?
You know, what's crazy about Nas is that, like, his bars had weight. Him, Tupac, Rest in Paradise, like, I own every Tupac album, and it was because, like, I could feel what he was saying. You know, I wasn't from the West Coast. I wasn't from California. I wasn't doing the things that he was doing, but, like, the way he delivered it made you, like, you were in his world.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I really fucked with music. Speaking of bars, I want to bring up one of your bars here because I've been listening to, this is from Antihero. And for any of y'all out there, y'all need to go on SoundCloud and look up this song, Antihero.
Respect.
I literally spent time working out to this song.
Respect.
And one of your bars, you say, K-Town in the booth on the airwaves, in the Cascades, smoking on the stairways, trying to see the Jakes before they see me. Don't forget the K in the KPD. Now, for all of y'all who are not from Kissimmee, y'all missed what the fuck was really going on in these bars. But one of the reasons why I fuck with you so heavy is that you are unashamed to rep the city. And that's real talk. Yeah. I mean, I've known people who blew up from the city that don't even mention it. But like K-Town in the booth on the airwaves, in the Cascades, smoking in the stairways.
Shout out to the Ave gods.
That's on Columbia Ave here in Kissimmee. What was it like growing up in Kissimmee, in the Cascades? What was the vibe going on like that for you growing up?
I want to say it was like half street and half tropical, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, because where I was coming from was just like 4 seasons, like snow would come in heavy, and every season would come in heavy. Here it was just sun and hot all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Hot. Just hot all the time.
Absolutely. Sweat was like
So
it was something you wear.
In the street. You always in the street.
Absolutely.
In the wintertime up north, when it's cold, everybody's
in the hallways, locked in.
Everybody's gone, but out here it's always in the Miami and Orlando downtown. Like, man, there's so much to do. It's rich, and then all these cultures. It's like a hub of all these cultures, all these different people. You get a flavor of the world. I love Florida, man.
It's definitely diverse. It's a melting pot. Like where you grew up or where you spent your time developing yourself in Kissimmee. What was the population like? Was it mostly like African American community, Latino?
Yeah, it was mixed.
Absolutely.
It's mixed. You open up, you look out your door, your neighbor, 1, 2, 3, 4, everybody's different race. So it's really mixed, you know what I'm saying? But in K-Town, you're going to see a lot of Latinos, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Latinos, Puerto Ricans.
The Latino community. I will say here in Kissimmee, when it comes to Latino community, they have a foothold on the food game.
Yeah,
bro.
Man,
I've lived in Miami. I lived in Jacksonville. I lived in Queens, and shout outs to all of those places. But when it comes to the food in Kissimmee and Orlando, the Latino communities they got a stronghold on that. Our bodegas, no one could fuck with our bodegas.
I need a plate.
For all of you guys out there, if you think of Kissimmee and Orlando and all you think of is Disney or Universal,
oh yeah. Oh,
you can miss the city with that. You gotta come see the food.
I love it out. Everything is rich out here, man. Like the culture, you know what I'm saying? Like the nightlife, especially. Like if you haven't experienced the nightlife down here, now you really can't. But back then,
Absolutely.
It's a little bit about the nightlife. You know what I'm saying? It's rich, man.
It's lovely.
It's rich. I love it out here, bro.
Just to bring it back here to that bar real quick. What makes Kissimmee so littered throughout your lyrics versus like your time in Virginia or like the BX? Like what's about the city that you love so much or that that you don't feel ashamed to talk about it, that you want to put on for the city? Like, because I definitely fuck with that. But what's the attraction to you in the city?
The number one thing for me is going to be the people, man. It's the people.
That's real.
You know, it's y'all.
That's real. How would you describe the people in Kissimmee or Central Florida?
It's love. You know what I mean? You catch the right people. Of course, anywhere you go, there's going to be those, you know, the shiesty movers and shit. Sure. But the people, you catch those right people and you could build a bond for life. You know.
That's real.
Life. Right? Like you said, we've known each other for 10 years.
Bro, and counting. And
I met you down here and on the outskirts of the K. You know what I'm saying? K-Town, if anybody knows K-Town, Kissimmee, they look at Kissimmee as the outskirts on Orlando, but I'm from Kissimmee, so Orlando is the outskirts.
I love that. I love that.
You know what I mean?
I love that,
so
because people want people from Orlando, and you know who you are. They like to write off Kissimmee, but anybody who really knows, it's a sister city right. to Orlando. Like in
I love Orlando. Though.
A lot of times the lines get blurred. A lot of times the lines get blurred. You don't know where Orlando
Kissimmee is. You live for long enough, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
you start knowing where you at after a while. Like, okay, I'm in the O, or I'm in the K.
It's all love, man.
Shout outs to it's okay, you know.
He said it's okay.
You know. Yeah, shout out to the Whittick game and the boys got a track. Okay, Kissimmee. Check that shit out. That shit.
This is another bar for anybody out there who was ignorant to the Lowgoes move. And this one right here, man. So this is from Reasons Why I Prosper. Once again, if you have not heard this man's music, go on SoundCloud, look up Reasons Why I Prosper by Lowgoes Tha God. And I want to break this down here because this impacted me. Like, one of the things that I look for in music is, how's it impacting me? You know what I'm saying? What's the energy that it's bringing off? And what's the fruit of that? And this line right here, bro, this line makes me want to go, like, rob somebody. No, this line makes me want to go grab the bag. My man says, and they talk a lot. All I show are calluses. Big dreams show my daughters what a palace is. Went from the baddest kid to a massive crib. 3-car garage and 2 foreigns. Still making payments, but I'm on them.
I'm on them, baby. God, hey,
listen, man. Hold on.
Hey,
when I hear that shit,
bro,
I hear that shit, bro, like, and just to give language to everybody on how I feel about this gentleman, this is all verifiable. This is all verifiable, and I think that's where the weight drops. Everything in this bar, I've seen this man done. All they do is talk. All I show are calluses. This man will work. My man put in work. Big dreams show my daughters what a palace is. As someone who's been to your home, this shit is a palace. There's no other word to describe it. You know what I'm saying? He's got a massive crib. You do got the foreigns. My man's making payments. Like, the fact that I can go through this man's words and be like, that shit is real shit. You really can't find that too often in Spotify. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's really real about what they're talking to. So, like, this holds a lot of weight to me. So that landed. Real, this is all verifiable, first of all. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about Reasons Why I Prosper and this bar specifically, where you're talking about all I show are calluses, because I've noticed that throughout the years, man. Your work ethic, you, Nabu Flynn, the work ethic is almost nauseating. You know, like if people who really knew how much you guys work behind the scenes to make the shit happen that you guys do, it's crazy. Yeah, it's from observing. So talk to us about, where did that come from? Where did that work ethic come from? Showing calluses versus talking.
Really is ground up, man. It comes from just wanting. It just goes back to that feeling, like I told you before, wanting to appreciate your own art. You know what I mean? And that feeling being so addicting, you know, because it's like that track right there means a lot. You know what I mean? Just because it's real, and it came off of somebody kind of telling me that, you know, what I have now, I didn't really earn, you know, and they always look at you like that.
Like they were checking you, or
yeah, like, oh, that's, you know, you just got that because such and such, but they don't understand the journey because they were not with me for that. People who have been with me for the journey understand, like, yo, I came from. So I put that in the track. These are reasons why I prosper. Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
because I have goals. Ultimately, the song is about having goals, setting them, and then achieving them, and then looking back at them like, wow, that was easy. Let's double that.
Say
Let's
that one more time. I don't think they heard that last part.
I said this song is about having goals, setting them, and then achieving them. You understand?
Bro, see, that's heavy right there. That's why I fuck with it. Like, if you guys are looking for someone who's really about their art and what they say in it, look up this man, because it ain't no fucking joke. Like I said, I was literally working out to this shit. I'm doing sit-ups.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make it G because I got a plan.
I respect that.
Getting right though.
I respect that.
Because for me, like, I'm gonna gravitate to music that pushes me, that gives me that spark. You know, to me, I use the music a lot to push through my trauma and my personal things. Real. You know, that's why I listen to a lot of Nas. I listen to a lot of Pac. Like, the way that they talk, you can see what they were actually talking about.
Yeah.
The words, it wasn't just like, man, that sounded dope. Like, you could actually register it on an emotional level too.
You were there.
Absolutely.
You're 100%. There with them.
And I feel like you share that in that. You know, now,
I appreciate
is that something that there's this thing in the industry where it's talent versus hard work. I do feel like you're one of the individuals that you have that talent of wordsmithing, that you have that talent, that gift. Your voice box is amazing. That's not even my quote. You know, that's from another rapper. His voice box is amazing. You know, shout outs to True Logic. And it's
That's love.
For you, do you feel like you were just blessed with a gift to rap with that talent, or is it something that you knew nothing about and you picked up a pen and a pad and started having to put the hours in? Is it a little bit of both?
Yeah, it's just being a student, really. You know, like, after a while, you go through different phases. You start off as a listener, and if your mind is open enough, you become a student. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately a teacher, and you never really stop being a student. So really, it just came from just listening and learning. Like I said, it really just goes back to being introduced to rap, like real rap, in my opinion. Because I liked music before.
Sure.
I didn't like music, but as far as being like, hold on, I could do that too. It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Who did you study? Like, growing up, were there specific artists that you like, I want to see how they do it? What's their formula like, or their flow?
Yeah. It was Nas. Then it was Nas, and then it was Nas.
So Nas.
It was Nas.
Do you have a favorite Nas album?
Yeah, Illmatic, of course, but putting that one aside.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like we all have to do it. Anybody who really fucks with Nas, it's like Illmatic, but then...
Putting that one aside, I want to fast forward. I love all the albums. I hate to skip over them, but what really caught me also, Hip Hop Was Dead was like a staple. You know what I mean? Of course, God's Son, but really Hip Hop Was Dead was like a staple in the game, where I felt like he said something that I wanted to say again. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not that it's dead, like, oh, it's dead, that's it. But in dead is, you know, to where people don't respect the culture no more. You don't respect the art anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
do you think that's happening a lot now? A lot of people don't respect the culture or the art of what's going on in hip hop.
I mean, it's interesting, man, because is hip hop supposed to be immune to art? Like, imagine, like, let me put it in this perspective. Like, if you have two artists, you know, with a blank canvas, and then one spends, you know, 2-3 years painting intricately these details, and he might draw a portrait of his mother, you know, when she was a baby, or something beautiful. It took forever. And then there might be another artist who takes 5 minutes and splashes paint on a canvas. And they might look at his picture and say, it's trash, and value this one at $1 million. You know what I'm saying? So really, it's all about your perspective. So
for sure,
it's all about the artist and what the feeling that you get off of your shit. Because if you don't feel nothing off of it, nobody's gonna feel it. So
for sure,
the artists who took forever, to them, that's worth $1,000. I mean, or $1 million. There's no price on that, really. You know what I'm saying? So whether people like it or not, the point is, whether people like your shit or not, it has to mean the world to you first.
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? If you're just doing it to do it, it's not gonna last long. A lot of people come up, a lot of people come down harder, faster, you know, and a lot of people just get a nice steady rise, and before you know it, they gain it on you, and before you know it, people are saying their name, and before you know it, you're looking in your rear view and like, oh shit, objects might be closer than they appear to the God.
I see that.
That's the God. Nice little study.
I like what you said. Like, it's about your perspective, and it's also about the process, because like if you listen to your vocals, man, like the vocals are laid down so nicely. I introduced you.
Appreciate that,
I introduced.
man.
That's real talk, though.
Because
that's real talk.
I focus on that, man. I took time to focus on that.
It shows.
I used to be like producer and like try to do everything at once and do this and do that and shoot the video. And I was like, let me stop and focus on the art of wordsmithing, because when the God came up, he came up as a writer. Let me write, because that's my strength. You know what I'm saying?
So writing was your strength.
Right, writing. I'll write you a play right now. Yeah, yeah. Give me 2 or 3 weeks. I'll bring you a play.
No, it definitely shows in the music.
I'll bring it up.
I put my
composition.
I thought this was cool. I put my nephew on to you. He's 14. He's a 14-year-old YouTuber. His name is B-Boy Genius, and he listens.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. He listened to Antihero, and I was like, if you can ask any question to this rapper, what would you ask? And he asked, what's your creative process like? Like, how do you even fathom and birth a song that has that much thought? You know, he heard Antihero, and we're in the car bobbing to it, and he's like, what's his creative process like?
Yeah, it's an outlet. It's really an outlet. My creative process comes from really, if you really listen to my music, you'll see that I'm only saying things how I feel. You know, and it's going off a day. Like, I might have a day where somebody cuts me off in traffic, and I make up a story about who they might be and not like them, and might bring a track, or somebody might say something or get a text, or it's a great day. I'm feeling the vibe. So it's an outlet. Some people go to church. Some people talk to other people. Some people see a therapist. Some people chase the bottle. You know what I'm saying? I grab the mic, and me, myself, and I in my own crib. You know, I got my own, my setup, and I'm in there alone. You know, I throw the track on, and I'm in another world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's transportation.
Yeah.
This microphone is the vessel. You feel what I'm saying? So I like to go there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like limbo, that medium between being awake and being asleep, but being in the zone. You know what I'm saying? But it's you can activate that. It's a space. It's a consciousness that you can actually access. You know.
I like that you brought up the fact that you have your own setup. You know, for any artists who are starting out there, you know, I got this from Lowgoes and from Nabu. Like, you know, start your own setup. That way you can go in and capture those feelings. There is no restraint. You know, I really got that from you guys. You were like, yo, get yourself a laptop, get yourself a mic, get yourself an interface, and go to the races. And do you feel like having that your own setup gives you that ability to access those feelings?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like coming into an open studio with people that you're not too familiar with. Like, do you feel like that enables you to get into that space of creating?
That's cool. Don't get me wrong. I love that. But it's vibes. When you got your own, like right now, how you got your setup, you got your laptop, when you got your own vibe and you're in your house and you could try something new and you're not on nobody else's time, and you can run it back. Oh, I don't like that. Let me run it back. Oh, let me try this. Let me run it back. Or you can stop and just, you can make turns on how you feeling. I might be feeling like doing this, or, and I don't have to steer everyone. I'm in my own zone. I throw the beat on, I record it, and once the hard part is done, it's just getting the composition, because it's all about composition.
How long do you think it took for you to get nice? Like, let's say, okay, Lowgoes got his studio. You know, he's been studying the gods, Nas, and this, that, and the third. Now you're in the lab. Okay, like how long do you think it actually took you to get nice to where you're like, yo, I'm bumping out tracks. Like my man's got tracks and on SoundCloud, and they're coming out. How long did it take you to get to that place where you're just bumping them out and like with good quality?
I want to say, to be honest, I never really felt like I'm all that nice. You know, everybody's still, I'm still learning, you know. In your opinion, if that's in your opinion, I appreciate you saying that, man, because then I could say it took me until now to really get nice, man. Shit. Um, but to really get
So
a
no
formula,
overnighters. You
no,
didn't just
no.
you didn't
It
just
took 10
wake
years,
up and like,
10,
oh, I
10
made
plus
it.
years, 10 plus years,
Woo!
10 plus years,
Don't be
10,
afraid of hard work,
10
people.
plus years,
10 years. How many years?
10 plus.
Don't be afraid of the time.
And I know you say, oh, just watch me work, and you be like, oh, okay, 10 plus years, you'll see that. It's because you build a level of professionalism and learning by yourself, you know.
Listen, if you're out there and you want to become great, don't be afraid to throw years at it. Before we go ahead and wrap this up, I want to talk a little bit about where you came from to now. You have your debut on Spotify with Nabu Flynn on the single One Time on Steakhouse Vibes Volume 1, which is streaming on all platforms.
Yeah.
If you have not heard it, you are fucking up big time and you need this in your life like a vitamin during coronavirus. Talk to us about your debut on Spotify on this single. Tell us about One Time, how it happened, and for anybody who doesn't know about it.
This song is going to be like a vessel, you know, it's going to take you to a place where two guys are having a great time, where rules don't exist, and the world is ours.
Just the way he said it, like, I want to sign up. I'm like, where's the vessel?
Yeah, we're gonna want to go. We're gonna want to go to the steakhouse because it's popping in a way where you've never seen. You can't get too close. It's kind of like bacon grease. You get too close.
How does it feel making that transition from SoundCloud now being on Spotify? It's streamed over 7,000 listens out here. You got people in the UK listening. You got people in Peru, all over the country.
It's feeling beautiful, man. We getting off the ground. Like I said, it's ground up. Everything you see is this literal chisel and hammer. So everything you see is king, king. That's not nobody. That's man hours. That's the team. That's the gods. That's ground up. So, you know, progress is a slow process, but be patient and look up because you're gonna see it's gonna be a real overcast.
I really feel like One Time when I'm driving through Kissimmee, I really feel like it could be Kissimmees Anthem.
Oh yeah, no,
listen, Kissimmee, stand the fuck up. We have an anthem out there. It is One Time. It is on Steakhouse Vibes, Volume 1, Nabu Flynn featuring Lowgoes Tha God, produced by none other Tommie Kid. This is Kissimmees Anthem right here. I'm just saying it like that. We got a music coming out soon. Music video coming out soon.
Oh yeah, you know, we having fun, man. With everything going on, it's all love. So we trying to, you know, tell you a little story, but video's coming.
Video's coming? Look out for the music video. What else? Can we expect anything else from Lowgoes Tha God before 2020 ends?
You can expect a whole lot of things, but one thing's for sure, just expect to keep seeing the name. Just expect that much. It might be on this, it might be on that, but you're going to see the name.
Tell these people where they can find you. What's the handle on Instagram? Where you at?
Oh, yeah. Find me on the gram. You know, I'm planting my feet now on the gram. You know, I'm trying to get, you know, savvy. So, yeah, I'm at Lowgoes Tha God. Lowgoes, you know, The God. You know, come find me. I'm on there. You know, there ain't too many. Matter of fact, there's only one.
If you're not, follow this man on IG. He's out there posting amazing content. We got the music video dropping soon with him and Nabu Flynn.
IG.
You're going to see Nabu Flynn coming soon on this podcast.
Shout out to the guy, Nabu Flynn. You know.
I just want to showcase this young man's art because he is a staple here in the city. He's not going anywhere. I think that he's going to go amazing places, him and this team. So follow him. And also, I just want to highlight the fact that you can do it, man. I've seen him live this shit through the years from SoundCloud, now on Spotify. But the main thing is you got to live what you talk about. I mean, I know there's a lot of rappers out here who do it differently, but I feel like one of the reasons why you're going to do this, and if this maintains, is because you live what you're speaking.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's going to be your main strength, that this guy actually talks his life. So I hope that you can continue to do that. I hope everybody out there is encouraged to talk about your life. You don't have to live our life. You don't have to live Lowgoes' life. Just be honest in your art. Use the art form. Use music as a platform to speak your truth. So follow him. Follow Blacklist Society. We're on Instagram
Blacklist.
at BLCK List Society. You're going to see more of us out here, man. We love Orlando. We love Kissimmee. We love the community. We're going to continue to put on for the city. Be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, be you. And we'll see you soon.